Everybody who's read anything about the One Big Beautiful Bill saw some story in the legacy media that says that it was going to increase the deficit by about $3 to $4 trillion, depending on the news outlet. The reality is that it reduces the deficit by $366 billion and includes $1.2 trillion of spending reduction of waste, fraud, and abuse in our entitlement system, the first most major step toward reforming our entitlement system that is what is driving us into debt in this country. And I want to explain, sorry to go long here.
No,
I want to explain why the difference between $366 billion of deficit reduction and $3 trillion of deficit increase. How do they get there? They get there because we refused to let the 2017 TCJA Tax Act expire. If that tax act had expired, it would have increased taxes across America by $4.3 trillion. And it's not just on billionaires, like the attackers said. It was $2.6 trillion of that was on people making less than $200,000 a year, and most of it was people making less than $100,000 a year. And they are saying that because we did not raise taxes on America by $4.3 trillion, that we caused a deficit increase. I think most Idahoans get that.
Okay, so let me just break this down. So essentially what you're saying is we had a tax bill from 2017. We just didn't let it expire, and they had factored in the additional proposed earned revenue that we would have got had it been expired. So they're like, well, you're not letting us get this revenue that we theoretically would get if this expired. Therefore, you're costing us $4 trillion.
You said it better than I did. And by the way, back in 2012, President Obama was president. We had the same situation, only it was President Bush tax cuts that were expiring. And guess what President Obama said? He said, we don't have to count this as increasing the deficit. It's just keeping the tax law right where it is. No more, no less revenue. It's exactly where the revenue is, and that's not increasing the deficit. But the attackers seem to have changed from 2012 to now because they don't like President Trump.